Let us put a price tag on various ecosystem services. Soil formation per year accounts for 18 trillion US dollars. Wildlife habitat, climate regulation, recreation and nutrient cycles account for 6.6 trillion US dollars. These are the values calculated by the researcher Robert Constanza and his colleagues. And here we are unaware of the price tag of the services that we get for free. If we look at the ecosystem around us, there are many different types of plants and animals. Is it not beautiful that our planet Earth has so many millions of varieties? These varieties of plants and animals are called biodiversity, and it is our duty to conserve the diversity. Now, can you tell me why do we need to conserve the biodiversity? Let's start with the definition of biodiversity. Biodiversity refers to the total diversity at all levels of biological organizations. The levels refers to species diversity, genetic diversity and ecosystem diversity. Well, you have understood the term biodiversity. Now, we'll move on to the topic, that is, why should we conserve biodiversity? Think about the benefits we get from the environment. There are three main reasons to conserve biodiversity, of which two are based on the benefits we receive. The first reason is narrowly utilitarian. The second reason is broadly utilitarian, and the third reason is the ethical. Let's begin with the very first reason, that is narrowly utilitarian. Narrowly utilitarian are nothing but direct economic benefits that humans derive from nature. For example, medicines, wood, fuels, food, industrial products, etc. The 25% of medicines we consume today are formulated from 25,000 species of plants. There are many more plants in the tropics waiting to be explored. The resources yet to be understood are studied under bioprospecting, which is nothing but studying molecular, genetic and species level diversity to know how beneficial they can be for the humans. Do you think it is only humans who benefit from the biodiversity? What about other species? There are numerous broader reasons for which biodiversity must be conserved. Broadly utilitarian says that the biodiversity is useful for the entire ecosystem and not just for humans. Oxygen providing services are done by biodiversity. For example, Amazon forest produce 20% of the Earth's oxygen requirement. Pollination services is done by varied species such as birds and bees, without which plant cannot produce food. Beyond physical goods, nature also provides some intangible benefits such as ecosystem balances, climate regulations, etc. We have seen a few benefits of biodiversity to us and to other species, which puts us in the receiving end. Do you think is it fair just being at the receiving end of benefits? Is it not our duty to conserve biodiversity for moral reasons, such as giving back? Ethical reasons are what we owe back to the nature as beneficiaries of biodiversity. Biodiversity is not just plants and animals. We have to be responsible in the usage of water resources, promoting local means of transport, not polluting soil, protecting mountains and its host organism, and so on. It is our moral responsibility in conserving the biodiversity for the benefits of our future generation. We have understood why there is a need to conserve biodiversity. Next, we shall learn how to conserve them. There are many methods to conserve biodiversity which can be classified into two categories: in situ conservation and ex situ conservation. First, let's try and understand what in situ method of conservation is. On-site or in situ method is a type of conservation where species that require attention are protected in their natural environment or habitat. Biodiversity hotspots have more species richness, and the species found in biodiversity hotspots are endemic and are confined only to a particular area. So, those areas on the earth are given the name biodiversity hotspot, and maximum protection is carried in those areas. By this initiative, the number of hotspots has increased from 25 to 36 globally. In Indian subcontinent, 4 major regions has been identified as biodiversity hotspots. They are the Western Ghats, the Indo-Burma, and the Himalayas, and the Sunderlands. Conservation is also done through biosphere reserves, national parks, and wildlife sanctuaries. In India, there are 18 biosphere reserves, 106 national parks, and 565 wildlife sanctuaries. In many cultures, forests are protected as sacred groves. In Western Ghats, Kashi and Jayantia hills, Aravalli hills of Rajasthan, Sarjuga, Chandra, Bastar regions of Madhya Pradesh and Meghalaya are places where large number of rare and threatened plants are protected. We have seen how to preserve various endangered species in their natural habitats. But what if the situation requires conservation of these species outside their habitat or in a lab? We then go for the another type of conservation, that is ex situ conservation. Let us introspect what ex situ conservation is. In ex situ conservation, plants and animal species are conserved out of their natural habitat. Zoological parks, botanical parks, wildlife safari parks are a few ex situ conservation zones. Have you ever heard about cryopreservation? Cryopreservation means cold preservation. In this, the specimens are kept under extremely low temperature. In cryopreservation, gametes of endangered species are preserved using cryopreservation techniques. Tissue culture method is also a type of ex situ conservation, where plants are propagated under in vitro conditions. So far, we have seen the reason and the methods for conserving biodiversity. Now let us investigate how the global community has joined together in doing so. In 1992, Convention on Biological Diversity or the Earth Summit was held in Rio de Janeiro, which called for international conservation of species. In 2002, a summit was held at Johannesburg of South Africa, where sustainable development commitment was taken by 190 countries. Sustainable development has considerably slowed down the existing rate of biodiversity loss on global, regional and local scale. We have studied the meaning of biodiversity, the reason to conserve them and the methods to do so. So which method will you apply to conserve your biodiversity? Just think about it. Let's now summarize what we have learned.
Manorama Horizon. Learning made simple.